So we can hear so we can hear the cat bell also.
Yep.
Yeah, I gotta close the door in a minute.
Just throw the cat outside.
I thought you were gonna say I gotta go put the cat down.
I mean, maybe.
It works just as well. Also,
I'm fine with either option. Really.
I don't disagree with that choice.
To be clear, we are streaming, so I shouldn't say anything bad, right?
Correct. I mean,
good.
Why would that stop you?
Hold on.
Well, no, it depends. For the supremely high Patreon people, they get to see who I really disparage.
Oh God.
Okay.
All right. I had to make sure I got my lilac sash before we started.
What?
It was the reward for the quest.
Oh God.
My lilac sash.
Nobody cares.
For my
Danny,
warlock.
if you're saying anything, we cannot hear you.
Is he trying the new microphone?
I think so.
Hold on. Oh yeah, he's shown as being. Oh, that's because he's muted.
Why did you mute Danny?
I didn't mute Danny. It just shows that.
That means he muted himself.
Yeah. And it's a constant green, so I assume his kid is screaming.
But he's muted now, and it's still green.
Probably just needs to go into the settings and change it to
to whatever. I'm still going with the screaming kid.
Oh, the push talk. Okay. Here, I can help you with that.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, where are my settings?
Yeah, luckily we have our tech support guy on today.
Yeah, luckily it's not me.
So when you click push to talk,
give it a second before you talk. That's what we learned.
Yeah, you got to give it time, but also make sure you pick a good key for it.
I think he's doing it on his phone, isn't he?
No, because he got the microphone from John.
Yeah.
John, you'll be happy to know someone left us a review on iTunes. That was a haiku.
Well,
fantastic.
I don't understand why you think that makes me happy.
I know it doesn't. That's why it makes me happy.
Oh, okay.
I think Lucy the Swarm Lord sounds better.
I prefer it personally. It makes me happy.
All right, let me show notes.
Hey Tony, how you doing?
Yeah, we haven't actually started yet, Tony. We're just
This is the pre-show show.
The pre-show show where Adam talks about World of Warcraft because nobody gives a shit about listening to that.
Either that or he's actually wearing a lilac sash, whichever is more disturbing.
The one I wear doesn't give me superpowers like in the game. So.
Yeah, now who's doing reenactments?
Excuse me, it's called cosplay.
It was always him. It was always Adam.
I would so do reenactment if I had the money for it.
Oh my god, me too. I'm not even joking.
See, I wouldn't.
You would. Who knows really you with the Russian the Russian reenactor that got caught with body parts in his backpack. Which is true reenactment. Hold on, let me find where we at.
Tony, your comment reminds me of Monty Python, where they're like, "No, on second thought, let's not go to Camelot. 'Tis a silly place."
Let's see, what am I looking for?
Who is
Can you guys hear me yet?
There we go.
There
All right, I had to reset something, but how does it sound?
Since sounds really good.
Damn. Like,
what about now?
good. Yeah, no.
Not as good, but good.
Yeah, you sound a little farther away. The second one, first one, you're like super close. To me, anyway. I don't know. All it depends is how it sounds to John. Really.
The first one, it sounded like you were about
having
to
the mic
host.
closer to me. So
that one's better.
That's better.
Yeah, you sound like you're about to host TFG late night smooth jazz.
That's exactly what it sounds like.
only for our Patreons. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh, very quiet.
Well, this became disturbing really fast.
You weren't disturbed at purple silk sash?
I never said purple.
Oh, I thought you said purple.
No, I said it's lilac.
Lilac.
Oh, lilac. Okay, my brain
Isn't that
translated
basically
it
purple?
simple.
No, you're thinking of
Chartreuse, mauve, ochre.
Chartreuse.
That's a whole other color.
You're thinking lavender. Lavender.
Ah,
Yeah.
lavender.
I'm thinking
Which
lavender.
I fucking hate the smell of because there's a shit ton of lavender in California, and I had to walk.
Yeah, I don't
through
like
all
the
of it.
smell of it either. Natalie loves it, and it drives me insane.
My wife loves it, but I'm ambivalent to it. I'm like, eh.
I forbid it in our household, mainly because my wife doesn't use it.
Okay, then. Well, it works out, I suppose.
It works out for not my narrative anyway.
Right.
It is banned.
Is it not surprising to me that Adam has just a strange, like, hatred, apparently, of specific scents? Floral scents?
It is not strange that it's not strange to you.
I think I just know him too well at this point.
Yeah. I mean, I wasn't surprised by it. I don't think any of us were really.
See, part of me thinks this is a different Danny with like the sultry, darker voice, the
I
new
know, right?
the Swarm Lord icon, like the devil tempting thing. It's like I feel like I bargained for something and I don't know what, but I lost my soul.
I'm just trying to not talk too loudly so I don't wake up my fucking kid. That's really what it comes down to.
Yeah, that makes sense. I'm glad mine are upstairs and I'm downstairs. I don't have to worry about it.
Mine is upstairs too. It's just we got thin fucking walls, and that kid is sensitive as shit. He like hears me wrestling. All of a sudden, he's like, "Oh shit, we're waking up. It's time to party. We're going. Let's do it."
Where are we going now? What are we doing?
My daughter is doing that right now and it's driving us crazy. I swear to God, if we don't see a tooth in the next freaking week, I'm gonna like go up in there with pliers and start
Pulling them down.
yeah, basically. It's like get this shit over with.
I feel like that'd be a bad idea.
Yeah,
A little whiskey on the gums never hurt nobody.
hey, we've already done that. It works.
Oh God, yes, it works. Generations of Irish cannot be wrong on that one.
Nope. We definitely are not.
Maybe we
But
got
we're
10
also not very much anything else.
We have 10 viewers. We should probably like start the actual show.
Okay, I just like to note
And not
that I
because
know-
of 18.
that's
Not
never
because
stopped
of-
us before.
Yeah, I know.
All right, John, whenever you're ready.
All right. Ready, Adam? 5, 4, 3, 2, and go.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to another episode of TFG Radio. Once again, it's me, Adam. Once again, joined by Danny and Tom.
Hey.
And back
That's actually Sister Mary Thomas. Thank you very much.
Oh, God.
I've changed my name.
No, I'm glad that you feel this is a safe enough space to come out with your transition, and we appreciate that. So you know,
It's
good on-
California.
Appreciate, but don't respect.
Well, to be clear, it's just we don't respect Tom regardless of what he does. So you know, that's more the issue.
Probably should have
True.
qualified.
And as you can hear, John is back with us. Luckily, he didn't get too sick from his reenactment of the crossing of the Delaware.
Yeah.
Um,
I apologize to all my fans. I know that we had a lot fewer downloads because I wasn't on the last episode. But,
Oh
you know.
my God! I won't tell you the true download numbers then. Keep your narrative.
Just like a good Trump supporter.
Wow,
Oh,
I'm the wrong color for that.
all right, so John's ready tonight.
John has been like waiting a month to be like, I need to get on the podcast and just say shit. I need to do it now.
Yeah.
So moving forward, there's a bit much to talk about. First of all, congratulations to Richard Siegler, who won Warzone Atlanta with Tau.
With what?
With Tau drones.
Don't you mean Xenos Iron Hands?
I don't understand. I
That
was
is their new
told
nickname.
that with Space Marines there would be winning.
Yeah, it
4 of
depends.
the top 10 were Space Marines.
Yeah.
I was promised there'd be winning.
I think there was Necrons in third.
Gasp.
Yes, there were undefeated Necrons.
There's something clearly wrong with the universe, and we need to write it immediately.
I mean, if you talk to Danny, he'll tell you that Necrons are good against Iron Hands, at least.
Oh, Necron pylons are really good against Iron Hands when they go first.
Yeah, everything's good when it goes first, Danny.
Supposedly.
If only there was somebody who had released data about that, but they won't.
Well, that's for another episode.
Yeah.
So,
Keep kicking that can down the road and ruining my later. It's fine. It's fine. It's totally fine.
You
Also,
know, you'd think you'd be happier painting 10 salamanders, John. I mean, you're in your happy place.
I'm not happy because I'm sick.
No.
Yeah,
And
it's
my
from that
kids are
cold
sick.
weather. More importantly,
So, John, just I know everyone wants to know. Did you know the Russian dude with the arms in the backpack? Have you
my
run into
God.
him in your circles?
The what?
don't act like you don't know, John.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Those that
You
don't know,
absolutely do.
I don't-
there's an article about a Russian reenactor that had body parts in the backpack of his costume
Why?
because
Yeah.
it's Russian. I don't know.
'Cause he's
You tell
Russian?
me, John.
Probably the best answer we could come up with, actually, to be honest with you.
You know, when one goes to their reenactment with severed arms in their backpack, as one does.
Well, I mean, I guess did he need them for the reenactment?
Maybe I don't know.
Like was he the field surgeon?
Like I said, it was Russian.
We are reenacting Waterloo, but I am Jack Ripper today.
I mean, I could see it if like he's the field surgeon and it's like, you know, he's got to do a bunch of amputations.
You know what? I'm not going to question because I like having both my arms.
Well, he's not here. He's in Russia.
He's not a Wookiee. I mean,
I don't know that.
Well, clearly the evidence would point to the fact that he's more likely to be Wookiee than not. So I don't know how you get off making that statement.
oh, you got quiet there, Danny.
It's okay. Oh, he's probably.
Off mic.
Yeah,
But
Ah,
and also congratulations to Adam Abramowitz, who actually won, spoilers, Best General for Warzone Atlanta.
I feel like that was fixed.
Who is this again?
Adam Abram, the guy who does the Best General podcast.
I feel like
That
that's rigged.
podcast still exists?
He just put out an
only
episode
when-
today.
Only when he wins, apparently.
That podcast is a great podcast. I will listen to that podcast all the time.
Yes, I know. I'm just being playful.
Oh, I know.
And if you could
I have
only
a feeling
release
John is
episodes
too.
when you win, we would never actually release anything. So,
True story. It's been
No lies
84
detected.
years. Where's that GIF? Where's the? It's been 84 years GIF. When I need
it's
it.
been 84 years.
I need it. I need a gift bar. That's what I need.
So if you look at Danny, do you have what's like the top 10 number of armies? You said 4 of them were Iron Hands. Or
4
of them
are Space Marine. I think there's
What are
3
they?
Iron Hands, which is Adam Abramovitz, Nick Nanavati, and Joseph Wright. There's a White Scars, I think, in there. And then it's Necrons, Eldari, Orcs.
There's a Death Guard at number 10.
You know what stat
Ooh.
I want?
What?
Thank you for asking, because I was going to be sad if you didn't. I want to know
Right,
the
next
stat
second
on
question, we all have to
the
ignore.
number of subscriptions Nick loses every time he doesn't win a tournament.
Ooh.
Like, I wonder if that's an actual thing.
I doubt it. I mean, he still got into the top 10.
No, I
That's
know. I'm not saying he's a bad
exactly
player. What I'm
easy
saying
to
is
do.
I wonder if that's an actual thing or not. Like, I wonder if he tracks it and, like, if that's pressure.
I don't know if that's hard because it's through Knights of the Round Table, whatever they're called. Knights
Oh,
of
it's
the Night.
not through his own thing.
It's not through him personally.
That's right.
So I'm assuming he gets a cut from whatever they
Right.
get. So
Interesting.
it would be for them.
Because
And
that
you
would
don't
be
know how
interesting
much.
if that, like, applies extra pressure to him.
Well, I mean, if he consistently didn't place in the top 5 or 10, I could see that being.
Right. That'd be
Yeah.
bad publicity. But he
It
does
also- yeah.
consistently place no matter what.
Yeah.
Right, because it's the same with like drivers in NASCAR, things like that. That they consistently place high, but they're not going to win every single race.
Oh, yeah,
that
for
they
sure.
go to.
Plus NASCAR stupid.
I mean, I think even in the last 3 episodes he's released on their podcast, which I only heard half of it because that's how his works, I guess. Like, you can only listen to half his podcast. He's interviewed people who he played against
Right.
who won
Yes.
to get to, so it's like, it's kind of interesting. He's like, they're like, oh, tell us about the army. And then like the guy will be talking, he's like, oh yeah, I remember when you did that. It's like,
That's
oh,
pretty good.
okay, wow. All right,
My
fair
paint
point.
brush just broke off into my paint pot. And it just did it again.
Pro skills there.
I gotta get this thing on. What
I think you need to roll better.
I think I need to get a different paintbrush is what I need. This is highly embarrassing to have live on stream.
What brand is that?
Good thing nobody pays me for a paint service. Oh wait, Carlos does. Crap.
We'll get it in post.
He does, but he doesn't have high standards.
That's true because he asked me
that's
to
also
do it
true.
for him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Self-burn, those are rare.
They're just brushes off Amazon.
Thank you, Kara Quinn. He says he gives us beer money no matter win or lose.
All right. Your money.
Well, my chances of winning definitely go down the more I utilize that beer money.
Yeah, that's so true.
Although he is saying it's
I've
contingent
tried
upon air paint.
airbrushes before. I'm not big on the airbrush.
I use the airbrush for base coating.
Plus, this is contrast paints because cheating is life.
I have it on good authority that contrast paints out of an air gun or airbrush is exceptionally used.
Really?
Yeah, that you get it doesn't pool the same way, so you get a nice translucent layer. So it's a great way to like blend in different colors together to give a really natural like gradient of.
Okay, but who told you this? Because that's going to qualify whether or not I listen.
Caleb from CK Studios, who if you see his models, pretty damn good.
I will take that advice.
I don't know.
Because if you had told us one of the people that we play with on a regular basis, that's not one of the good painters, I'd have been like, okay.
Yeah, no, it's a legit source.
I know. I think.
I would never ever give you advice that I got from.
No. I would.
I mean, unless it'd be funny, but
contrast paints are so much awesome.
Agreed.
They are fantastic.
So that was Warzone. The next big event.
Warzone?
Yeah. The next.
I bet a lot of those armies were painted with contrast. Tell you what.
Why the hell would you not? I'm just going to consistently derail what you're trying to talk about, Adam.
Sure.
Because you insinuated I knew somebody who severed arms.
To be fair, that was me.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to blame Adam because he started the whole trope about the reenactments.
That is fair.
Trope, it's true.
I'm just happy to be here.
We know, Tom. We know.
Yeah, that was good. I was waiting for. I was like, and.
So the next event, Atlanta Open is in basically 2 or 3 weeks. Renegades is in 2 weeks, which will be shoutcasting on, I believe, Sunday.
Yeah, I think I have the super early morning game.
Yeah, Danny has the morning game with a few other shoutcasters, and I have the 2 late games.
Oh, I can't do that weekend. That's right.
Yeah, you already said
right. I already can't do that weekend.
You have a reenactment.
Is Atlanta that super casual one that like is becoming really popular because it's so casual? Is that the one? Okay,
Yes, it is.
I was confused.
Yeah, yes, you are. So those 2 are up. And
I am but a simple man. Sorry, Adam.
So we'll see if I'm curious if because it's more or less in the same city, if the Atlanta Open will have more or less the same spread of armies.
I'm more concerned about somebody just uttering the words "I'm sorry" on our podcast.
I just blow by that because I don't pay attention to Tom.
What I haven't?
You said "I'm sorry."
No,
we don't do that here.
Oh,
it's like, oh, I'm sorry. We need the Wakanda meme, the Black Panther.
Yes, we need the Black Panther. We don't do that here.
Yeah, we don't.
I didn't do any memes. That's why I'm painting tonight. I didn't have time to compile them.
That's how you know John is busy when he couldn't get memes to.
That's actually a very good point.
It's true.
Pour one out for the homie.
K.R. Quinn is asking if the Renegade Open allows the Space Marine codexes, since the Atlanta Open does not.
Doesn't allow the Space Marine codexes?
What?
The supplements.
What?
Wait, what?
What?
Okay.
What the hell are you even talking about?
Apparently the pro thing is not allowing the supplements.
The pro tabletop tournament?
Yeah.
I got.
All right, I'm out.
Where's?
I'm gonna head out. Okay.
I gotta open Imgur immediately.
And suddenly there was time to meme.
I'm literally frozen. Can you see I'm not painting shit? I am stuck between wanting to continue painting salamanders and make memes.
Wait,
can we confirm this?
That's what we have to confirm.
Okay.
So we'll continue with the show while I try to confirm both. And some.
Oh god. Okay.
Are you a cigarette there, John?
I need something. I don't know. Some cocaine, I hope.
So moving on. So in the last couple of weeks, we've got they announced the Sisters. We all knew Sisters of Battle and the
I'm sorry, but this is something that happens when the person running the tournament has never run a tournament before or ever placed like in an event.
I gotta freaking look this up.
I know.
I mean, come on, really? That's going to be
whoever asked that question did an amazing job derailing us.
Oh my god,
So
it is so ridiculous. It is so ridiculous.
Wait, I need to find so many dumb custom videos. I just need to find the text that says.
Oh, Jim Vessel says he thinks it's fake news.
Okay.
Read the Atlantic Open, but what about Pro Tabletop? You're going to Pro Tabletop, right?
That is the Atlanta Open.
Oh, that is the Atlantic Open.
Yeah.
Okay, it better be fake news because that's some bull fucking shit.
Yeah, I don't know how you
Imperial
could
Fist
ever
and
get
Sally's.
away with that.
He's saying it's called the Atlantic Open.
No,
Yeah,
it's
that's
Atlanta.
Atlanta Open.
Oh.
Whatever. Yeah.
My brain
they're
doesn't
not-
distinguish
if
between text and audio.
Pro Tabletop is the group running it, but it's
Yeah.
called Atlanta.
It's called the Atlanta Open.
Okay.
Right. Okay. All right. All right.
Yeah, I'm not seeing anything in the Army guidelines anyway, so.
Jim
Okay.
came in and saved the day.
Okay, thanks for ruining our fun, Jim.
Thank you for saving me from an aneurysm, Jim.
Oh, again, ruining our fun.
No, we need him for the sound quality.
Oh, good luck, Jim, on opening a new restaurant.
Oh, bravo.
Yeah, those of you who are enjoying being able to hear Danny without him breaking in and out, you're welcome.
Don't break your arm patting yourself on the back there, guy.
I'm not, I got both my arms right here. How many arms do you think I have?
I don't know. You might have some in your backpack.
Jesus Christ.
Yes. Yeah.
Anywho, let us continue.
My day is made. So as we've seen, the Psychic Awakening and the Sisters of Battle in limited edition box are both pre-orders of this Saturday, but it comes out the weekend of Thanksgiving in 2 weeks. And because of that, there's been a lot of previews. So we're going to go over a few of them. We'll start out with Black Templars, and we'll move on.
Amazing.
Their special character is not like horrific as long as he's not actually like 180 points or whatever his power level would suggest.
I don't think it'll be that much.
Yeah, if he's that much, then I don't know about that. Like, Vulcan's not even that much.
Yeah, I think he'll be in the low 100s.
One would hope.
I see reading the Black Templar rules. I immediately thought of the Black Templar from Monty Python, the Holy Grail, bringing that around again, where he just keeps getting dismembered, and then he's like, "Well, you want to call it a draw?" They seem like it'd be funny and fun to play, and that's it.
It's like playing a Black Templar player.
Yeah,
It really is.
just but a scratch. They're like the Imperium equivalent of orc players who yell "wah" at
I
like.
tabled you. It's just a flesh wound. We'll call it a draw.
Yeah.
I have the servitor in this ruin.
Yeah,
He's
there
in
wasn't,
Lenin's sight. No, he isn't.
there wasn't too much that it looked like a close combat army basically. But the issue now, anyway, at least in my opinion, and I'm pretty sure you guys agree, is that it's much harder for assault armies to get into assault.
Yeah,
Well, yeah, because everything's so freaking lethal at range.
it's called Tau.
Yeah.
And unfortunately,
And Shamaners.
they don't have the old rule where they get to move forward every time they lose a model.
That was awesome.
That was
if they
fun.
had that in this edition, that'd be crazy.
Yeah,
Because your stuff
like,
dies so fast in the edition. On top of you in like 5 minutes.
So,
Why
The
is
other
your
thing,
army
too, is-
continually coming towards me as I kill it? Laughs in
Yes.
Black Templar.
The other thing too is like right, like White Scars can at least advance and charge, and their purity trait is cool and powerful, but you don't need it to play them as an auxiliary or even to play them. Meanwhile, the Black Templars, it's like sure they get to reroll the charge, but that's not as good as being able to advance and then charge because you can control that better.
Right.
Yeah, and it's also White Scars. I mean, we haven't seen everything, but White Scars have a way to stop you from falling back. They
Yep.
have outflank. They have a way to deny Overwatch. So they basically have everything that an assault army needs to survive in this edition, which is deny Overwatch and be able to get charges out of reserve.
Yeah, that's true.
So basically, you're telling me just to paint them black, call them Black Templars, and play them as White Scars.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, sure.
Or just do the Iron Warrior.
Follow your bliss.
Oh God.
Just do your Iron Warrior idea. You're just gonna build Iron Warriors and play them as whatever you want, anyways.
Correct.
I fully support that idea, by the way.
Heretic.
Oh, yeah. Of course you do. Alpha Legion player playing as everything else.
Well, at least
I will
was
say-
at least quasi able to be
Argued.
argued by the fluff. Yeah, thank you.
I was going to say,
talk
that was
while
the
I'm
best
painting.
part. Hold on.
I really can't talk while I'm painting. I have to like literally stop to talk.
That's funny.
So, if you saw the preview for the Alpha Legion Chaos stuff today, I do appreciate the little fluff text they had in it where they're like, you might be playing Alpha Legion and you don't even know it yet. Made me think of Tom.
That's
Yeah. Speaking of which, we'll move on to Chaos. Today, the day we're recording and the Twitch stream, they revealed the Chaos stuff. Of note is they only revealed Warlord traits. They did not reveal chapter traits.
Because there's not going to be any.
Which, like I said, which worries me.
Oh, we learned our mistake from Space Marines. You don't get anything.
Which is funny because that's always been the case.
So you're going to FAQ Space Marines? No.
Just gonna not let everybody else have this.
Don't be so sad.
But here's the thing: given their print schedule, right? Like, they didn't know things were quote a mistake until like after the codex was released and people really started giving feedback.
Knowingly make the mistake of making them overpowered to sell more of their favorite models.
Well, the other thing too is sure they may not be changing chapter traits, but they could be giving Legion purity traits. You never know. Probably not, but you know.
You never know. I mean, actually,
You're
the
just saying
Sisters
words
of
that
Battle
aren't
stuff
things.
supports that.
John, you literally crash every time you talk and paint.
What? I don't understand. Could you repeat that? I was painting.
Sorry, no, Danny was saying something.
Oh, sorry.
I was saying that the Sisters of Battle, actually, the spoilers they've given seem to suggest that GW is moving everybody to this kind of purity style since they get convictions or whatever they call them if they're pure. So maybe Chaos will start to get that, although it's weird to not see that with like Death Guard and Thousand Suns and all that other kind of stuff.
You know what my favorite part about GW's rule about pure is?
What?
It's actually pure.
Except for Inquisitors.
Well, yeah, but like that makes sense.
I love that.
But like you can't like summon in a bunch of demons and be considered pure, or like get yourself a Vindicare assassin before the battle starts and be considered pure blood angels when you've got a Vindicare, because it's not pure.
Well, you can still do it with Blood Angels because they don't have that Legion.
Oh, I'm sorry. Iron Hands,
Yeah, there you go.
Ultramarines, Shalmarish.
Unless you're an Inquisitor. So also the Inquisitor, I actually have my copy of my Inquisitor, of my White Dwarf. Along with all the
Is
extra
that why
crap.
Carlos wanted a White Dwarf so bad?
Yep.
Yeah, because the Inquisitor stuff, especially Cotiaz,
Kodiaz is pretty
Yeah,
good.
Kodiaz is good.
is really good, especially for 90 points.
Cody has not been good.
Like
Every time
until
now, every time he comes out,
Until
every
now.
time he comes out with like actual legitimate rules, I'm not talking about index. He's always been good. But Cody has
True.
always
Good
been
as
when he's come out, he's always been takeable and like a good piece.
he was
How many
was
people
really
saw
good
him
in
dropping
seven.
out drop pods with Devastators and Turians.
Yeah, I remember that.
Those were the days.
Oh god.
Well-
I lost a coop using that combo.
Ugh. 7?
Yeah.
Okay, but
That
it was also Coop. So you could
Yeah.
You weren't going to win that
because it was
game
Coop.
anyway, bro.
But that was when I was young and hadn't known about the real world of competitive. I rode high off of one tournament win and I was like, yeah, I can do
have
this.
The
And
towel
he just-
list, and he looks at you and goes, "What?"
yeah, and then he's like he's like Hunter's Eye conversion beamer, bro, and it just murdered me
Yeah.
with a small blast template.
Sounds about right. He probably said "bro" too.
He was really cool in our game. I just died.
Oh no, Coop is awesome. I'm not talking trash.
Now, Coop is a great opponent to play against.
Oh yeah.
So real quick, going back to Chaos.
I thought I
There's a
successfully
few-
derailed it.
Yeah, Danny did actually.
Woo!
Because Danny moved on to sisters before we should. Because I know he's excited
I
about
feel
them.
like that's subjective.
No, I'm in charge, so it's not. So there's a couple stratagems that almost and warlord traits and even weapons that look like it might be, if you even had to have even a chance, you may have to have mixed detachments or mixed detachments as opposed to just one detachment of pure, if they don't get any
Pure stuff.
Well, maybe they want the legions to have to mix. Like Chaos Warbands mixed together, when they go on their crusades or whatever.
Right, because if you have...
Because every one of the failed crusades has been an amalgamation. It's not like it's all
just
Black
one.
Legion failing every time. Everybody's failing all the time because it's chaos.
You're funny.
I know, thank you.
But
be here all night.
Yeah, kind of because you have to. But yeah, I don't know if that's part of the plan or if they are going to do pure traits like regular Space Marines or what.
I think it'd be hilarious if instead of giving you pure traits, they came out with all the Primarchs and were like, you can only use them if you're pure.
Oh wow, that would
I would hate you, but I would still play pure World Eaters all day.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Why would
You got
not,
Angron?
Why would you not play Angry Man?
Yeah.
His rule is he can't die until he's killed a model.
That'd be amazing,
That would be pretty great.
actually.
Just keep throwing him at stuff and pull him back. But I didn't kill it. That other guy killed it.
God.
He's not dead yet.
So
He's negative 84 wounds.
hopefully there's more sneak peeks for the Chaos Space Marines, but we'll see.
Mm-hmm.
I had mentioned earlier that my hope stock is plummeting right now. I wonder that they'll get some
Prove this
trait.
release all of a sudden.
Yeah.
Dreams deleted.
Yeah, nothing the World Eaters saw. I didn't see anything where I was like, ooh, I can maybe use that. I was just like, okay.
It's a tide
I
you over
guess.
till 10th edition type thing. Don't worry.
I know, right? But this is a pattern we've seen before, especially when the Battle Company came out, where GW gave Space Marines a super good thing, and they're like, "You're gonna give it to everybody else, right?" We're like, "No, it's really bad. I don't think we'll give it to anybody else."
Right.
And so that's their way of fixing it.
Yeah.
Hello, Village
So
Idiot.
Chaos can do this too? Nope.
No, because it looks bad, so we're not gonna give it to anybody else. We're not gonna fix Space Marine. That's what it reminds me of. Okay, now we can talk about sisters. So I know I'm getting a box. Danny's getting a box. Tom is a maybe.
I'm trying to get a box right now.
And so
Working
we saw
back
a couple of the pure traits for today also.
Mm-hmm.
Ardent Shroud looks like a good one, which is you can advance and still shoot as if you didn't advance.
Which is amazing.
Yeah. And what was the other one, Danny? Do you remember?
You get an additional miracle dice when a unit is destroyed, and you what is it? I think there's a reroll in there as well.
I think you can re-roll a miracle dice when you roll it or something. Or that's
there's
stratagem,
something.
I think.
There's some reroll element
remember.
as well. So it's two
It's
things.
It's
but
in
pretty good.
addition, when resolving an attack made by a model, add 1 to the hit roll if one or more from that model's unit have been destroyed in this battle, even if they've been brought back.
Okay,
Oh yeah, so even better.
which tells us there's probably a stratagem or some type of mechanic that brings units back.
Well, they do have the sister that was previewed in the last one.
The
She's like-
Shuriken.
The Churrigan, yeah, or like I forget what her name is. I think it's the Hospitaller actually.
Yeah, the Hospitaller.
For me, the one released today that was like, okay, this is fantastic. So you take Indomitable Belief, which is everybody within 6 inches gets their invulse save improved by 1, so they become 5 up because sisters are inherently 6 up.
Right.
Then you take Rod of Office, which increases it by 3 inches. So you have a 9-inch 5 up invul field. And then,
The Rod
in
of
addition,
Office increases inches.
Indeed.
I mean, hey, sisters have to beat. Never mind, I'm not going there.
The
Then you
female
get the
army has a thing called Rod of Office
of authority.
and it increases your inches.
Is your auras? Sorry, increases your auras. Okay, stop being dirty.
Okay. Okay.
Excuse me, sir. This is a Christian server.
No, it's not. This is most certainly not.
No, but then finally you get a relic called the Book of Saint Lucius, and that increases all other or any auras by 3 inches, basically making your warlord a 12-inch aura of 5-up invul for your entire army.
No, I think it's infantry only.
It's infantry only.
Oh, that's still. I mean, you're gonna. I feel like Sisters will be a heavy infantry army, like as in lots of infantry, heavy amounts of it.
Yeah, especially if they stay the same points they are now.
Yeah.
Hey, whoa! Somebody's calling into question my painting abilities.
Yes.
Excuse you.
As they should.
Excuse you.
Damn,
That's
hateful.
Pretty good.
Didn't you call your own painting abilities into question earlier?
No.
I just see a fuzzy guy.
I know, it's just gotta focus. Just give it a minute. There.
That's also because you're blind, Adam.
There we go. Well, that's only if I close my right eye.
It looks pretty good, huh? I don't think it's terrible.
It's painted.
It is painted and done.
It is painted.
It's got lava.
So one unanswered question I have about Sisters is, I'm assuming there's going to be a limit on.
Limit on.
Or am I wrong on that?
Basically a limit on the number of miracle dice you can have.
I love that, Chaplain.
Yeah.
Well, they're only giving you 12 miracle dice in the box, so you could assume that, but I don't know. Maybe you could have more.
Yeah.
I mean, you'll probably go through them pretty quick.
Yeah, you're going to go through them quick.
Yeah.
And also they mentioned Acts of Faith, so I guess there's still Acts of Faith, and the miracle dice doesn't replace the Acts of Faith. I think it's in addition to. I think
that's right. Again. Yeah, here I got it. Hang on.
And
That's
the miracle dice almost remind me of the Acts of Faith, the faith points you used to get back in 4th edition, where if Sisters of Battle models died, you get a faith point back. And I remember always being hesitant to kill a unit because I knew they were going to get a faith point back, and that it would probably somehow fuck me over.
Oh, okay. So I think Acts of Faith are basically gaining miracle dice. So
Is that
you either have, it's like this is what it looks like. You either have Vengeance, Sacrifice, Purity, or Valor. Basically, if you kill something, if a character is destroyed, if a psychic power is resisted, or if you roll a 1 on a leadership test.
Okay.
So then, in any of those examples, you generate a miracle die. But then other things like relics and warlord traits and convents give you other opportunities to generate miracle die.
Oh, okay, then that's what it is. Okay.
I think that's what it is. Yeah. Then you've also got rights, which rights are basically game-long disciplines. So, like, we've got Space Marines who have Assault Doctrine, Tactical Doctrine, and Devastator, and you switch for turns. Right. Sisters, instead, you pick 1 or you roll for 2. And they apply the whole game.
Nobody has any rights in 40K.
You've been listening to too much election talk, haven't you?
The what?
Like rights, like politics. Yeah, forget it.
I don't know why you bother answering him.
I know. I make that mistake every time. It makes me sad.
That's why we keep you around.
True.
John needs an easy mark.
Yeah. No, I've said this before. John prefers having me take more flack from you two, and then when I'm not there, you need to both turn your ire on something, and he's there.
So I know Danny can answer this. Twitchville Idiot's asking, so what do we think about GW trolling that base? So those that don't know, GW put an image of a square base and then mentioned that what was old is new again, or what is old is something like that. What is old comes around again, even squares.
Even if it's square or something.
Even if it's square, it's a square base, not a square movement tray.
Yeah, it's probably for their Apocalypse version of Age of Sigmar.
Well, to me, someone said that too, but I said, well, then wouldn't it be a movement tray as opposed to a base?
Oh.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Well, it's a lot easier to rank up models on square bases than it is on rounds.
Right. I'm going with with the legacy stuff. They're just going to bring back Fantasy Battle, at least the rulebook.
It was a legacy set.
Yeah.
Just re-released 9th because it was so great.
It only went up to 8th, John.
I'm sorry,
Shows
8th.
how much you paid attention.
Re-released 7th. 7th was amazing.
I did enjoy 7th mostly because I was probably the best I've ever been at competitive tabletop
did you enjoy
games.
the game where I played you in my second game ever with my corn demons and beat you?
Oh yeah, that was good times. That was real
you
good.
not being that happy.
I was not.
I remember you expounding to the room about how much bullshit demons were.
Because they were.
Were you playing Saurians?
Who was literally
No,
using
I was
dice to count up the number of zombies he had instead of having.
Yeah, I was playing vampire counts like a win.
Yes.
He was playing another like OP army.
I was as happy as could be when I ate your dragon mount.
Yeah, I remember.
You suck my battleship.
I think the magic system in 8th was the worst part, wasn't it, Danny? I can't remember.
Yeah, the magic system was like really kind of weird and clunky and had just huge swings. I remember my very first game at 8th was against Brandon Kading, and he had his really like tuned demon list, and I had kind of like a derpy wood elf list, and I one-shotted his greater demon with a spell because it went off in Super Saiyan mode, and it was just like, okay, that's kind of dumb. And Steadfast was a terrible rule.
Jim Vessel, fucking Purple Sun.
Oh yes, the Purple Sun.
Yeah. So I don't know. I know a lot of people would be happy and would actually come back to GW if they did that.
A lot? I
No,
don't know
there's
there
been
being a lot
enough.
of people.
There's enough ninth age players around.
Yeah, enough to warrant printing a book.
But I thought they already had their own rules someplace else that they made up.
Yeah, but it's not GW. So they would still come back to GW.
I think it's just called the book they originally printed, and they just haven't thrown it away yet.
No. There's like a company that.
No,
made
there's a fan made like ninth edition. It's called Ninth Age. That's actually they kickstart to produce.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Huh.
I do not know this.
Yeah. So all they have to do is if they just update some of the rules and clean it up and just reprint it, just the book and maybe just an index version of all the units. I mean, that's really all they have to do. They don't really need to do too much else.
I mean, we've seen that they like kind of pushing people out of the marketplace who stepped in their absence. So they could be like, you know what? Let's just get these people back. Fuck them.
Yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about. I've never seen anything like that.
Yes. GW is a benevolent god.
They are a benevolent god. I accept our overlords and masters. Please send me products because I'm being positive.
Yeah. We're being pleasant at this moment. Don't listen to any of the else of the podcast. Thank you.
They don't listen to this.
I know they don't.
If they did,
Although I agree with
if
Twitch.
they did, we'd be in a lot more trouble.
I know, right?
I agree with Village Idiot, though, is that John would get to merge his love of Renaissance reenactments with the Bretonians.
I'm gonna open Total War 2 right now and delete my Bretonians campaign.
The Bretonians.
He can go full SCA.
God, that campaign was so hard. The beginning of that,
Yeah.
it was really hard to get off the ground with Bretonians.
Especially when you're dressed in your armor while playing, John.
Right?
It's about the immersion.
Well, it's you play the regular humans, right? You play.
No, I never played as Empire.
Well, but you're like, oh, I can do this. Oh, okay, like, Bretonians, not that big a deal. And Bretonians, it's like you're dead. Like
it's really difficult. Yeah, it's a very hard campaign.
So everyone's excited for Sisters.
Oh my God, yes.
Nope.
Except for John, because he's excited about Salamanders, or the other army that uses a bunch of flamers. So the miracle. I'm curious to see how the miracle dice work. They work fairly well for Tzeentch and Age of Sigmar. But we'll see how that mechanic works for the nuns with guns. Which brings up a topic that I kind of thought about.
Grindhouse,
especially with Tom switching armies all of a sudden. In that, for some people, the ability to switch armies I put down in the show notes. I put down in a timely manner in a quickly evolving meta. For some people, like John, can turn out an army within a week. It's no big deal for him once he gets all the pieces.
Yeah, usually it depends. The Salamander one's going to be harder because I want it to look good, and also it's a lot of infantry.
Because you because you care about them.
Yeah, but like
if you didn't care,
I could finish up my Black Marines into Iron Hands in like a week and play it if I wanted to, or like White Scars, whatever I wanted to finish it into.
And with me, the paint schemes that I use, because I use the Army Painter base coat painting, and I choose either black or silver. Apparently,
Yeah,
it's a lot,
and then gold trim,
and a gold trim. It's a lot easier. It's a lot quicker to build, especially with Space Marines. It's a lot easier to build armies that way. But for people that take a little longer, like Tom, how long did it take you to do your Alpha Legion?
To do that, like start to finish, I think it was August to like late August, and then taking my time a little bit in October to early October, like mid-October. So like the majority of the painting was done in September. Like I painted that entire army in September. And I took like a couple weeks of I took a week or two of break, picked up the last couple models and painted them really quickly, and then I based everything. And
luckily, it was still Space Marines because it was mid paint, and you pivoted from Ultramarines to Iron Hands. Which is that was the whole point of why I painted them Alpha Legion. I know I'm necessarily the most unique individual who took this approach, but I painted them Alpha Legion so I could just be whoever I wanted to be. Plus, I also love the Alpha Legion paint scheme and the Alpha Legion period. So like. I just wanted to do it that way. Well, that begs the question, at least for me, what do you stick with an army when you see other stuff coming out that actually may be better than what you're painting? Let's not take Space Marines out of the picture because you can just switch to whatever you want. Sure. As long as you have the correct paint scheme. But let's say Sisters of Battle. So let's say it takes a while because some of the stuff's kind of ornate and whatever. And in the meantime, something else comes out that looks really good that you like. Or something happens, let's say chapter approved, that makes an army you previously painted and have. So with that difficulty, do you continue on with the Sisters, let's say? Or do you pivot back to, let's say for me, Chaos? Well, for me, it's like I like the way I approached it was this. I first off knew that Sisters are going to be a kind of a slow bleed release. Like we're going to get this box set and we're going to get a couple other items along the way. I mean, hell, we still haven't technically... We only just got the final release of the Space Marine stuff with the Impulsor like 2 weeks ago. Yes. Maybe? So... and already now they're talking about Sisters of Battle and the other Chaos stuff. Yeah, and so those... I mean, it's going to be, I'm betting, actual release for Sisters until probably like mid-January. I wouldn't be surprised if the official models that are been updated come out by mid-January. And for me, I wanted to do Sisters for two reasons. First, I love the way they play. I think that sounds hella fun. I don't know if they're going to necessarily be OP, but like they look like a fun army that I definitely would like to play. And that's what made me jump onto Space Marines in the first place, because I played Tau for so long and then Custodes for a decent minute. And they just were both play styles that after a while I just couldn't get into. Custodes because I'm frankly not good enough to play Custodes, and Tau because even as hard as I tried, it wasn't clicking for me, and I hated the gunline thing. And so I was like, you know what, like I kind of fell out of love with them, even though I still have all my Tau models. The other thing too is that like I also know that Sisters may not be the OP thing. Like Space Marines are probably still going to be better than Sisters in a fair fight. But I'm fine with that because part of the reason I'm getting it is because I love the model design. I think the Sisters line looks incredible. And I've gotten, as I've told you, the death of my competitive nature has come with having a kid. I now actually really enjoy painting. We can't all be Jim Vessel and be a god at both. And so I really want to like take a crack at like making a really beautiful Sisters army and like painting it and like playing it and just like really delving into that hobby aspect. And then the last thing is I fully know by committing to this, I can't pivot again. So I was lucky with Space Marines because I owned half the models of that army to begin with. And then I was able to get a bunch very quickly on the fly because I had an Orc army, which I had just sold. Right. So I had all this hobby money sitting around and I found some eBay deals and boom, I had the army I wanted to play. This, I know I'm going to have to take my time, collect each piece, really do the reading to figure out what army I want to play. And you know what? If they release the World Eaters Codex with Angron the Primarch, or if the Lion comes out and, you know, all of a sudden Dark Angels are the new thing, I just gotta like sit back and nod. Like I can't pivot that quickly. And I'm fine with that. Like I'm making a decision to pivot here because of all of these hobby reasons and gameplay reasons that I'm done. Until I raise more money by the end of next year. Danny?
Oh, I'm sorry, is Tom done talking?
Yeah, he's done being excited.
Jesus. I was enjoying
Good
that.
Lord.
I enjoyed your diatribe.
I was sagely nodding my head while he was talking.
No, I could hear the sage nodding.
Podcasting is a visual medium.
It does.
Well, this one apparently is. I mean, it's on Twitch.
Oh.
Danny,
I'm gonna go cry. Go ahead and talk.
Danny, I know you have you pivot a lot, and we talk about it.
And how?
Yes, and even with armies you already have, you pivot. Do you think with those rate of release right now, anyway, it may slow down next year after Sisters is released? Do you think you should bother pivoting, or just pick one thing and just stick to it? Or does it depend how much you can get, or if you can possibly do it?
I mean, I think it really depends on what you want to do. Like, I don't get to play enough and consistently in tournament settings to where I can just be like, okay, I'm going to try and, make top 10, top 5 or anything like that. So I play to have fun. So whatever army sounds the most fun at the moment is something I'm going to play. So that means I pivot a lot. And it's been really hard to keep up with that the last year because so much stuff has come out.
Right.
So, this is why I really kind of gravitate towards Tyranids, just because I love that army and there's so many different builds I can play with. None of them good, but I can still do it. And then Chaos, because, with Chaos, I could do my World Eater army, or I could do Bash Brothers, or I could do Bloodletter Bomb, or I could do Chaos Knights, or a combination thereof, right? So I can always kind of scratch an itch. And with Sisters, I'm going to play it, and I'm going to probably take my time and make the army look good rather than speed paint it like the Iron Hands. But if something really good comes out with Tyranids, I'm going to probably play Tyranids and play the shit out of them.
But you also already have that army.
Right.
Well, yeah.
Like pivoting to Tyranids is just like, hey, I'm taking these things out of that I already own out of the box.
Yeah, the only army at this point that would sway me away from Sisters and Tyranids would be a true World Eaters army with Angron. Then I would be like, "Ooh, sorry, girls, you're going in the closet for a while."
Yeah, you can't.
But other than
Demon Primarch coming back, I mean, come on.
Yeah, now fuck no, especially not unreasonably fuck ass mad Primarchs.
Yeah. Like I would probably even hang up stuff if they came out with even Fulgrim. Because Fulgrim in the books prior to being a demon I liked Fulgrim a lot, especially that book. Like the book Fulgrim was awesome.
No, the book Fulgrim's one of the best in the whole series.
Easily, yeah. So I might even just would pivot to that just because I love that book so much.
Oh, if Fulgrim comes out, I'm getting that for sure, and I'll run true Bash Brothers until eventually I can have all 4 Primarchs running around.
That book too is a great example of when despite the fact that it's this grimdark, crazy, fantasy setting, sci-fi opera, that book has such a tragic arc.
Yes.
Oh my god, I was just at the end when you see Fulgrim kill Ferris, who gives a shit about Ferris? But seeing Fulgrim. Fall so far. Oh my god! I remember reading that and being like, "Damn, that is what hooked me into the Horus Heresy series." That and Legion, those 2 books alone.
Yeah, a lot of people didn't like Legion. I like Legion.
I liked it.
Legion and Mechanicum tend to be the ones that people
John.
didn't like. I agree, man. I agree. Lots of people are bitches.
I mean, that book is the introduction of John Grammaticus, for crying out loud.
Yes. A lot of people don't like that character. They think it's a silly trope. You don't spend enough time on Reddit.
Homer earrings. I'm getting flustered over here.
Oh my god. Just like how John doesn't think Mandalorian's any good.
It was fine. I didn't say it was bad. I said I was gonna watch it, and I already watched the first episode, and I'll watch the second one tomorrow when it comes out. It didn't have substance in my opinion. It was a lot of flash, but it might be because that's what I've come to expect from Star Wars. At this point, it's
by the other.
All flash and no substance, and so maybe that's what I was expecting. So that's what I saw. But I'm totally willing to keep watching until I decide no.
Like Flash or lens flare like J.J. Abrams?
No,
it's not J.J. Abrams.
No, not J.J. Abrams. Actual kidding. I hate your guts.
The hunter has become the hunted.
I think
no. Don't give me that kind of challenge. Don't you even try, Mr. Dark
John, it's okay,
Angel
man. They're just
sitting
trying.
on my shoulder.
They're just trying to pit the white man against each other, man. We gotta stay strong.
That's what they always do. It's what they always do, Tom. Wink, wink. You know what I mean by they, right? You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
The downtrodden.
I'm in danger.
We're gonna get zucked on Twitch.
I think for me, it brought back more of them because I know my parents took me to see the first one, but I was too young to more or less remember. But I do remember Empire in the theaters, and I think that's what it reminded me of. So that's why I gravitated more. Yes, that's why I gravitated more to it. I also remember my brother screaming, scared of Chewbacca.
Nice.
When we go see Empire Strikes Back.
Wait, seriously?
Well, he was only like 3 or something. So it was
No excuse.
No, I know. And we used to run around. We used to have the 12-inch Chewbacca toy. We'd run around the house chasing him with it. Me and one of my cousins.
wonder why.
None of this surprises me. This is why he always tries to kill us halfway back from Vegas in the car.
It was the best.
I love The Mandalorian. I thought it was a perfect pivot from the kind of Kurosawa worship of the original trilogy into Sergio Leone worship of the spaghetti western. I love that there's only one character name mentioned in the entire thing, and that's Carl Weathers.
None of these words mean anything. What are you even talking about?
No, he's going for the highbrow comment of the cast award, and it won.
Anyway, also, I'm not going to do any spoilers, but the action sequence seems really cool. It's not like perfect. I have some issues, but no, it's not flat. There's a lot of already good story beats. It doesn't fall into exposition like Star Wars usually does. Of let me tell you about this, and let's go into the Galactic Senate and talk about trade federations and why that's important. Right? It doesn't do any of that. It's just like, here's a bro in the middle of like the barren waste, and why doesn't he like droids? Who the fuck knows? Who cares? Right?
Yeah. Along those lines too, it's also very clear, like immediately, that they're not like, this isn't Boba Fett, but it is. So yeah, no, it's very clearly like that kind of strong silent archetype, but a different take on it. And I like that they make it's very clear after a while that he is someone very different from the idea everyone has of who Boba Fett is.
I just think it's very clear that John's wrong.
It's not
Boba Fett, no.
Right.
No, I had to explain that. I had to explain that to my wife.
Because in the arc, in this timeline, Boba Fett's dead, right?
Yes.
Because this takes place after.
He's assumed dead.
He's assumed dead in the Sarlacc pit. Yes.
Right. This takes place after Return of the Jedi.
Yes. 5 years after.
5 years after, right? But so it's prior to the events in
Force Awakens.
Force Awakens,
right?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, there's no First Order yet. It's just a bunch of remnants of the Empire probably running around.
Stormtroopers were all dirty.
Mm-hmm.
Dirty stormtroopers.
Dirty stormtroopers.
I also enjoy. I don't know why, but I'm sure someone already has.
Damn it.
So I noticed it, and it made me laugh. So there's the Mon Calamari, which is like Admiral Akbar's people, right? The squid people, and their currency is called flan. And I'm just like, why does this species get named after food? Like, what is up with
I
that?
didn't even pick up on that.
Because George Lucas.
Because he likes flan.
Who doesn't?
True.
Can't help but being racist in some way, shape, or
All I want though is I want this
to talk about Jar Jar Binks when I said that.
No,
there's a lot to go into with the prequels and
Greedo?
racism.
Not Greedo. The flying guy.
The Trade Federation.
The
very first line of the prequels is, "We have formed a blockade."
Yes. Or the flying dude who's clearly Arab.
Oh yeah, the slave trading Arab. Yeah, that was
slave trading.
And they made him. Yeah, no, there's a few of those things, running around.
A few.
Yeah.
There's a way more than a few.
I was trying to be polite.
Yeah, I know.
Catarox, he wasn't talking about Quarren. He was talking about the currency that he receives from others.
What?
Huh?
No, Catarox has said that the squid people are not the Mon Calamari.
They're both squids. It just depends on which angle you're looking at.
I think
Fish
the squid
people or
people,
whatever.
but I think the squid people are on the same planet.
Are these the same squid that fall out of the sky in the Watchmen show?
No.
Okay, just making sure.
No, you're no, yeah.
No
they live
crossovers
on the same
from HBO to Disney Plus.
Not yet.
Hey, I love Watchmen. I think it's a great show.
Me too.
I'm super enjoying it.
People underappreciate it. People think too much about their stuff. Just enjoy.
Yeah. And then they hate the Mandalorian.
I
But-
didn't say I hated it. I said it didn't catch my interest. But I'm gonna keep watching. I'm gonna give it a shot.
Like all I want is Jon Favreau to go Iron Man on Star Wars.
Oh, to bring it back from its doldrums like he did with Marvel.
Yeah.
But he didn't bring Marvel back from anything. He did the first one.
Well, no, he didn't because there
No.
were 2 Hulk movies and a failed Fantastic
Okay.
And
but
2 failed Fantastic Fours and
those don't count.
3 Spider-Man movies.
Those don't count.
and 3 Spider-Mans.
And that doesn't
Well,
include the Fantastic Four
Those
movie.
don't count because the licensing wasn't all there for
No.
those. They weren't
No,
creating
you
a
were
cohesive
even
universe.
disregarding Spider-Man. The never mind. Okay, I'm gonna stop.
Good.
Moving on.
So
I win.
with that done, so
That's not how argument works, John.
Yes, it is.
Renegade.
I'm moving the goalposts and declaring myself winner.
You and your red hat. So moving
don't play
on.
chess with a pigeon.
Don't pay what?
Don't play chess with
Don't
a
play
pigeon.
chess with a pigeon because it shits all over the board and then
Struts around like it
struts
won
around
anyways.
like it won.
I've heard that and I forgot that I did.
Well, you're welcome. I just reminded you of it.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I'm gonna go find your car and shit on it now. I feel like
It's always parked in the same spot. It's not hard.
right? I'm applying it correctly.
So moving on.
This might be
We
our
have
best
Renegade
show
Open
ever.
coming up.
We're gonna lose
Atlanta
so many
Open.
fans.
And more importantly, next month or in the next 2 months is the Las Vegas Open.
Woo!
Currently have how many people did he say we have registered? right now?
4,000.
950.
It was 1 million, right? I think it's 1 million.
It's a lot of people coming.
It's more than
For all the events or just
Last
champ?
year.
We're just talking
Just
about nobody
champions.
cares about anything but 40K.
Oh my god.
yeah. I think we have over 900,
Mhm.
over
That's still a
9,000
fucking lot.
for the champs. I just want to bring up a couple notes. There will be a video. John will have a video out at the beginning of December.
Like
Go
always,
over
the
just
judges
about
PSA.
just for the major notes and changes, especially just to give people a heads up so they're not caught off guard. We
Mhm.
try to cover as much as we can, but we can't cover everything.
And it'll come
once
out in written form also and other things. So
Yeah.
if you
And
don't
once-
like watching videos for some reason, which I can't understand why, because it's a condensed version and better, and you like to read, you'll have that too.
Maybe people just don't want to look at you.
I
Could
mean,
be that.
they don't have to look at me; they can just listen. There's another on my voice.
Jim is asking if we're going to use if it fits, it sits. I think we are. I don't know if we're going to change it though. We still haven't decided. On that.
A version of it will definitely be used. It just depends on if there's going to be alterations. It
Yeah.
was, according to the exit survey at SoCal Open, very, very well received by the players. By the
Yeah, I
majority
didn't have
of
any
players.
issues. I had one discussion about it with one of my players, but that was about it, and
But
it
the-
wasn't even that.
Yeah, but the majority of players wanted it to stay.
So basically, everybody except Necrons.
Or
They just won a
just
GT. I don't know what they're complaining about. Oh no, they just won undefeated at a GT. I don't know what they're complaining about.
Yeah,
Or a
Yeah.
major. Wasn't it a major?
it was a major.
Look at that.
Oh,
Look
really?
at that,
Wow.
Necrons.
Pretty
Good for
big.
you.
Yeah, 168 in terms of players.
Way to prove the internet wrong. You should buy that
So-
man a cookie.
So there will be some version of it. So it will be. It's probably here to stay into the for the foreseeable future anyway.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But like I said, we're just want to talk about a few things just to give everybody a pre heads up because
Don't warn them. Make them find out when they get there that morning.
well, for some people it's going to be like that.
Con.
It's always like that for some people. I didn't know
Yeah.
this. We put
We're
out
not-
a
we're not-
video. Posted
we're not
it
gonna
17
do-
times.
We're not
What do you
going to
mean
do.
we're playing 8th edition?
We're
I
not
was
going to do
expecting to
broadside
use
bash.
my 5th edition Grey Knights with my Cybolt ammunition Cypherman dreads.
We're not
I'm
going to make
pretty
any
sure-
ruling the day of.
I'm pretty sure 5th edition Grey Knights would just get destroyed at this point.
Oh,
I know,
for
right?
sure.
But
I love
as
that.
we mentioned, if it fits, it sits rule will be there, but in some type of form. We haven't decided. We haven't really discussed yet what form it will take. It,
we haven't
if
decided.
any. It's been discussed briefly among all the other things we have to discuss. But one big thing I wanted to mention now, because since John is painting, there will be a change to the painting standard.
That's right.
The more important
Dust
thing
off those
is
brushes,
that wash will no longer be considered a coat of paint.
Oh, because
So
it's
you
not.
will need. Well, I agree. It is not a considered.
What about a glaze?
Oh God, no.
Why was he invited on the show?
Because he's the smart one.
Damn it.
Yep.
He won most sophisticated comment of the podcast. I mean, we were all there for it.
He's the professor to Tom's Marianne.
I didn't understand anything he said, though. So
Isn't Tom more of a Gilligan?
Thank you. I'll take Gilligan.
Tom definitely gets to be Ginger.
I'll take Ginger too.
No.
How about Mrs. Howell?
Oh, Mrs. Howell.
There we go.
There we go. Figured it out.
The only other thing I can think of is I've been called Eddie Haskell.
Why?
All right.
Why
did you
would you
ask?
share
Why
that?
would you open that can of worms? We were all fine letting it sail by.
Oh, it gets better and better. And this is why we have Tom on. So it needs to be 3 actual colors. There, GW does put out a guide for their events as to what they mean by 3-color minimum. So I believe we're going to use that as our guide also. They used it for Iron Halo.
Yeah, it worked out well for Iron Halo.
So we'll probably use the same standard. As far as I know, clear bases are still allowed. As long as the whole army has clear bases.
And a painted base, as long as they're all painted the same. Also, that's the consistency, right?
No, black base.
Black base, that's right. Not a painted base, a black base.
Right. Or black painted base, which I still don't agree with, but
Whatever.
charge. It's not my tournament.
I'm less about that one than I am.
Well, I am too, but I would have just included that just because.
Yeah.
But whatever. I'm not the one fronting the event, so
It's true. It's
whatever the boss wants.
Not my money invested in it. I just show up and give people yellow cards.
Just a reminder that there is the shadow round for that event for LVO. For those that don't know, because there's so many players, we'll either end up with too many undefeateds or only a few undefeateds and a lot of 5-1s. So what's going to end up happening is the top 4 will automatically make it to Sunday, and the 5 through 12 will actually play a 4th round on that Saturday and the winner moves on to the top 8 on Sunday.
Yeah, a single round. It's like a single round elimination.
Yeah, this really incentivizes you to score high. So if you submarine, you may get to this. You may have to play that extra round, which could affect your performance on Sunday.
Right, because you're tired.
And from what I've heard,
it goes a long, long time.
It can, especially if you're playing someone that's not willing to just concede when everybody knows what's going to happen.
Yeah, again, as a person who has to judge the ghost round, I really want to reiterate to anyone listening who actually, if you do end up there, if you know the game is decided, it's not worth any points, it's not going to do anything to your standing, just call it a day. Yeah, go let people eat and sleep. Just don't fucking hang on.
Yeah, it does not affect your XTC score.
It's why it's called the ghost round or the shadow round. It does not exist
within the confines of the
tournament. It literally only exists on paper.
Yes.
Yeah, and because it's done on paper.
Exactly.
Sure is.
Yeah, so it does. You don't get the bonus for winning that round like you normally would. There's nothing like that. There's really there's no benefit to getting as many as points as you can, even if you're losing in that round.
Yeah. So again, please.
You just play that
the game is done. Just let it go.
Let it go.
Just
crap out of the players and get them out of there.
Yeah, so if during the course of day 2 it looks like you might be able to make it, just know that you may have to play a 4th game that night, and just be prepared. I guess. I mean, there's some break in between the round 3 and the shadow round.
There's like about a half an hour break or so. Give people a chance to try and scam some food before
it's
having
to
hard. Play it like
or just late at night.
Drink, whatever.
You could have your teammates or your friends go get you something. Before you start, so you can have something to eat. beforehand if they finish before you. But I suggest if you're going to go and if you have a chance to make proper preparations.
You always bring somebody with you and like pay them to sit at the table and like take care of your models and stuff and go get you stuff that you need.
Yeah, they're called escorts.
You could always do that.
Blackmurd123 asks, do different Marine armies have to be? To which I respond, only if we're holding Eldar and Harlequins to the same standard.
To which you would respond if we could actually like hear you without you breaking up.
Yeah, you cut out.
You're both cutting out to me now.
Oh, basically, I said to Blackmore.
Huh, weird.
I said to Blackmore, basically, I am fine with that as long as Eldar and Harlequins are standard.
No, in this instance, the Marine chapters, if you're playing more two different chapters, should be distinct in their paint scheme.
Oh yeah,
it's this, but it's going to be the same for like orcs and stuff, right?
I believe so. Either that or different color. Paint the base rims the different colors.
Yeah, it has to be clearly delineated if you're running separate.
So,
things. So like
no
different
rubber
cultures, different craft worlds.
I'm not 100% sure, but I don't believe rubber bands will be allowed in terms of different.
We discussed rubber bands not being okay.
Okay, I just want to make sure that was that because I just don't remember. But that again, this will be brought up in the video that we're doing, and we'll remind everybody as we get closer to LVO. If you do have any questions, you can always email Frontline and ask. I don't know if we have a dedicated email address just yet, but once we find that out, we'll let everybody know.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see what else. I think the cutoff right now for the book has not been decided, but it's at least going to be a week or two.
I thought it was January 13th or something, right?
That's the initial date, but I don't think we got a lockdown.
But it's going to be around there. So just so you
around
know,
that
it'll
time.
be around that time.
Just know that new books will be about early January. I think it was the 8th. I think we were thinking about the 8th also. Mm-hmm. So, but we don't know when. But I don't know of any new books coming out yet. The last Psychic Awakening book, according to the rumors, it would be in December. But we don't know what else is after that for the new year.
Wait, the last Psychic Awakening book is in December?
Well, the next one is Blood Angels versus Tyranids, which is the rumor I've heard.
Oh, for this year, you mean?
For this year.
Oh, okay. I was about to be like, you mean they teased for...
No, they can keep on going, but the next...
I was about to get real salty.
Wow, you have your iron hands. What do you care?
No, it's more like...
And you got like super characters now because they didn't have enough
I know, right?
Space Marine stuff, so they added more stuff to Psychic Awakening.
I know, I'm so happy about that. No,
oh my god.
Yeah, we haven't even talked about that.
I block it out, but then I remembered.
No, I was more like, the thing is, I actually like the storyline progressing element, and was very much like the storyline's progressing.
That part I'm fine with.
Yeah, so like if they just stopped after 3 books and like it was like, wait a second, didn't you say you were going to do all factions? Like, what are you talking about? Come on,
fast forward to the part where Abaddon loses.
He already won. What are you talking about?
Yeah, he's running around real space dog. Like he's kind of doing his thing.
Mm-hmm. Gilman's
he's like a toddler. He's like a toddler hopped up on sugar right now.
Woo!
So like KR Quinn is saying, so at least three of the Psychic Awakenings and the chapter approved.
Oh,
which unfortunately does not take Marines into account.
Nope.
So what I expect is Lord Discordant prices to go up and Obliterator points to go down. And probably things like Possessed. A lot of the stuff in Chaos nobody uses. I expect those point values to go down, which may help, especially with all the new stuff coming out with Psychic Awakening 2.
Yeah.
But until we see the actual book in a couple weeks, we won't know for sure.
Well, yeah, I mean, it could, one of those units could easily be like a Centurions, right? Where everyone marveled, like, oh my god, those got super cheap, and then no one gave a real crap until they're like, oh, White Scars or Raven Guard Centurions can really get there, huh? I'm gonna go ahead and do that.
Yeah, we're not gonna see an adjustment for Space Marines unless GW does something until
chapter approved.
No, not even chapter approved because
Spring FAQ.
It won't be until the spring FAQ after Adepticon.
Right. Cool. I'm cool with that.
I mean, it's the same thing as what happened with Knights.
Yeah.
And orcs.
Except
Yeah,
orcs
but
weren't
orcs,
dumb.
no. Yeah, I don't even know why you brought orcs up.
Well, because orcs, everyone was talking about like, oh, are orcs going to be like? People thought certain things in orcs were broken when they really weren't. And so they're like, oh, it'll get fixed in chapter approved, and everyone's like, you don't know GW, do you?
I don't remember that conversation at all.
I remember, because you don't care for the little folk arguing in the trenches.
I'm too busy on my throne because I'm winning the night challenge to listen to the.
I mean, you were already aspiring to the throne. That's why you weren't even paying attention back then. Your grand scheme.
My grand scheme. Yeah. So the three. And then, so we'll see what point changes there are. I don't know if there'll be any for Space Marines. There might, but I highly doubt it. I'm more curious if they do any point adjustments for Forge World.
That I could see happening.
Why?
Just because certain Forge World like builds with Space Marines cause feel bads. Like for example, my double Scorpius is, for example, in the right matchups just destroy people.
Yeah, but
it doesn't.
I mean, really, it's not a problem.
Well, how about this? The Danny Kwan's Falchion.
Is it winning anything?
Well, not now, but like when he wins hard.
Right, but they're never going to find out about that because that list doesn't win.
And not everyone takes that list.
True, but I mean, aren't they also looking at it from an over field perspective?
Maybe, but what you see right now are first. Yeah, so you'll see Scorpiuses, Leviathans, maybe Daredevils. They may drop points for things they don't see. And you have to remember the main GW rules writers are now writing the rules and doing adjustments for Forge World.
Right.
It's no longer Forge World doing.
Yeah, which means that's fair.
So they would know about it.
Yeah.
I think you might see something, but maybe not what we want. Like some stuff may still stay overcosted.
I could see Chaos Forge World stuff going down, possibly.
Kara Quinn Index is going to go away eventually. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Like it just.
Oh yeah, that the index has already been announced where they mentioned the Warhammer Legends.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So everything in the index is going to get moved to this Warhammer Legends thing, which is not going to be allowed for match play.
Right.
But for LVO, unless they do it in, let's say, chapter approved, let's say they put some line item that says because everything in index has now been updated, then.
Right.
Then they could now say everything that was an index option is now in Warhammer Legends. If they put that in chapter approved, then I don't believe we're going to allow it at LV.
Well, no, because it'll say match play. Legends isn't for match play, and we use match play.
Right.
Yeah.
So, now if it doesn't happen until after the cutoff, then we'll allow it for LVO. So
yeah.
And we don't have any clue to when the cutoff is.
Nope. Not exactly.
So we'll see what happens in regards to that. Anything else for LVO that you may want to mention now, or they?
No, I think we're good for now.
I think those were the big things.
Yeah, that's the big stuff.
Just to remember to the new paint requirement. Well, again, we'll talk about that more as we get to closer to when the video comes out.
Yeah, I think we should just surprise people with it.
You think just the day of, it's just start pulling models?
Just start pulling models and slapping down cards. I can't play with half my army. That's right. It's not 3 colors. Wash doesn't count.
Just a reminder, the Code of Conduct is in effect. There might be changes to the Code of Conduct to update them a bit, especially the clock rules, because there's some confusion with the clock rules.
I don't know. I feel like what we did was perfect. No need to mess with
it. There's one piece especially that has been brought up continually over the last year, but we've never fixed it.
Like?
In the Code of Conduct, it says the player may not touch the clock, only the judge can. In the clock rules, it says to stop the clock until the judge gets there. So
that's been consistent. To be fair, we didn't write the clock rules.
True.
Also, anything that needs to be changed from Code of Conduct, I didn't write. It was somebody else.
Okay.
I'm just stating that now.
I believe that's it. We move on to new stuff. No questions. Any other questions from the viewers? Hey,
Contrast isn't wash. You shut your dirty mouth.
it's both. The best of both worlds.
It's a combination. Therefore, not wash.
It's contrast.
It
It's not a wash.
It is contrast.
It is both solid and it is liquid. It is plasma.
My bottle doesn't say wash. It says contrast. It doesn't say shade. It says contrast.
We just give shade.
Yeah. Hey-o.
Anybody have any other questions on the show? I mean, we can, just a reminder for everybody really quick, for those that don't know, we are doing what we're calling the War Master series, which is a series of events similar to just ITC in general, but more for our region, which includes the states of California, Nevada, Arizona, Utah, and Hawaii. It's going to run from now basically until Slaughterfest in August, the first weekend in August in 2020. And the first place person will be crowned the War Master. So just be a lookout for that. If you're in any of those states or in the surrounding areas and just want to participate, it's open to any RTT and any GT that wants to participate. Just go to warmasterseries.com, and all the information is there, including the link to the form to register your event.
Yeah, I'm excited about that personally. I think the regionalized competition, I think that'll just bring communities together, and foster an additional competitive spirit. Like, for example, I think even Danny was saying, he doesn't get to go out that gunning for any top spot, which I think is most of us too. It's like we don't go out enough to gun for top spot, but now it's like, oh, maybe I can make the Mournival this year, or maybe I could, maybe I play enough where I even have a shot at War Master, but because I'm just the best in my region, not necessarily in the world, Right. So I think it's pretty cool.
So it's broken down into basically the top ITC for the region is the War Master, and then you're going to have, and they're the top player for their state, and then we'll have awards for each individual state. As we move along, there's a few sponsors involved: Enigma Hobby, Hammerhead Games, because Tony has his hands in everything, 40K related, and Squad Marks, which I haven't put up yet. So we'll probably get a few more sponsors, so that the prize at the end will be something worth fighting for. So again, just go to warmasterseries.com and you get all the information there.
KR Quinn, you should just have a tournament at the Four Corners where it's in 3 states at once, and then your tournament would count for 3 at once.
Yeah, why is Colorado not in, but Utah is?
Talk to Tony.
Okay.
The original plan was to have California, Nevada, and Arizona, basically the Southwest, Pacific Southwest. And Tony wanted to include Utah and to include Hawaii. Hawaii, I kind of understand because it's out in the middle of nowhere, in the middle of the ocean. Don't get out much. And then
their coast is Pacific.
Utah, you'd have to ask Tony that. I guess because Utah's closer. Originally, I picked that area because just geographically, it was more natural, and I didn't know if any of like the Colorado, Wyoming, if that area was going to do their own thing, and if the Pacific Northwest was going to do their own thing, which would have been Washington. As far as I know, they're not, which is Washington, Oregon, and basically Idaho. Because I don't know my maps, because I'm educated in the U.S. So it's true. So I figured eventually they would do something, but depending on how this year goes, I mean, I have no qualms about expanding it to include other states.
I have qualms.
You have qualms about everything.
All the qualms.
Yes.
What's your conspiracy theory about this now?
There's no conspiracy. I'm just blaming Tony.
Well, Tony is the one that suggested you found Hawaii.
Let's see.
And I was like, sure.
Yeah.
I like Thomas.
Yeah.
I like Armory from Hawaii.
No, why not?
So it was fine.
Not Grilled Pickle wants to know if you're going to finish your nachos this year, Adam, at LVO.
Finish my what?
Your nachos.
Oh, because last year at when I went to a dinner with the Best in Faction guys and their Patreon members, I ordered a shit ton
Yeah, it was a giant nachos. I was there.
Yeah, and I didn't finish them.
No. Well,
That
because
shit
I
will
was
be-
going to
that
help
shit
you,
will be
and
done.
then I left because I went on the pub crawl.
Yeah. See what kind of friend John is? Always there for
The
you.
kind that says he's going to go on the pub crawl and then goes on the
After
pub crawl.
promising to go. The kind that says, I'll eat those for you with you, and then leaves. Yes.
I did eat some with you, but I was not about to gorge myself on nachos so I could puke them up.
I remember when I photoshopped into that event too. Definitely not while we're at work crying.
I don't think I'll try again this video.
Was I doing the shadow round when this happened?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
This
Oh, god damn it.
Don't you guys draw straws for that? I mean, you should.
No,
No,
Danny
just said
and
he'd
Tom
do it,
is
so
sponsored.
they get to do it.
Yeah.
Well, John can't
I do it
this
just because
This
I'm
year I
used
can't do it.
to.
I could have done last year, but I want to go on the
pub crawl.
I want to go on the pub crawl. I need my beer.
I used to play War Machine, so like the idea of like a 12 or 14-hour day isn't exactly new to me.
Yeah.
Valerie wants to know if I'm going to start babysitting the Marine tables and start pulling flyers off if they're over the board. No, we just correct the mistake.
We could do that too. You could bump the table.
You just go by and tell them to put it back where it belongs. Like, it's not as hard as people were claiming it was during Abromowitz's game. Go back and watch that stream. The chat is quite lively with me because I'm telling them that there's literally no reasoning anywhere why I would destroy somebody's model in game because the wing was hanging off the table. Like, you just fixed the mistake.
Or maybe we have a new if it fits it sits rule of if I bump the table really hard and your model falls, then it shouldn't have been up there anyway.
It wasn't that it was up there; it was that he had it near the edge of the table, and so the wing was hanging off the edge of the table. And the chat went crazy about it, and the judge went over to talk to him, and and Sean Naden, who he's playing, literally like moves the plane over like an inch, and it's like I don't care about this. he's like, I literally don't care about this. Can we play?
Yeah, it doesn't really matter. I mean, maybe if there are models all around it or something, it would matter.
Right.
But
That sounds like a mature and equitable decision, and that doesn't.
Yeah.
so no nachos for me this year.
No.
And although, British Columbia is Pacific Northwest, so you guys can use whatever you guys want.
I stopped listening after British.
Nice. Yeah, Jim Naden is pretty great. Nobody's going to argue with that one. Naden's pretty great in many ways. Did we have any Patreon viewer questions this time or no?
We did not. We just had a lot of likes.
Well, that's because somebody didn't ask for questions until like an hour before we went live.
I asked questions according to Facebook 4 hours ago.
Oh, 4 hours ago. Okay.
I was this close to asking a dumb question, but I was like, I'm gonna be.
You just can
Question.
just ask it now because you're on the show.
Well, I didn't have any either. I couldn't think of. Well,
Fair enough.
no, I can't think of anything.
Also, just a reminder, we do have the contest. I know I do need to put up the actual details on the Facebook page, but just real quick,
No, you don't.
the first one is for Patreon members only,
No, it's not.
and that one is to give Tom a new nickname.
Oh yeah.
Considering
one
my
we're doing.
name is at,
This one we're doing.
Yes.
considering my name's at stake, it damn is only the Patreons. You got to pay for that noise.
So currently his nickname is Butters. We'll still keep that
only-
nickname because it's still good, but
You can have multiple nicknames.
yeah,
Yeah, like titles, like you're a French nobleman or something.
yeah, or like a Hispanic last name. So I'm not lying.
No, I know. I know. I grew up.
My favorite
around that.
is when it's the same last name just twice. So if you're on the Patreon, I'll put the post up and just if you have a nickname for Tom, just list it. The nickname we actually choose, and Tom won't be able to see it. He's not in the Patreon, or if he is, I'll kick him out.
I am in the Patreon, but I don't pay attention to it.
There we go. John's a good guy like that.
What?
John.
Wait, what did
That's
you
why.
say?
That's why John didn't listen.
Speaking of not paying attention,
So just put the names in there, and we'll John, Danny, and I will pick our favorites, and the favorite will get a painted Ferris Manus with his head on.
Oh man, I gotta do
Or
that.
without.
When is this contest over?
It's going to be over at the end of the year, basically.
Oh, okay.
We'll
I got
do-
time.
yeah, the winner of the contest will be like the first episode in the new year.
I want that Andy to be upped, and I want it to be a Ferris Manus painted model with the head magnetized.
Oh yeah, I was just thinking, yeah, it would magnetize.
Then somebody else is doing that.
And it would be painted by John. So
Yes, it will be painted by me. And I will not do my speed paint job. I'll do my normal job.
The second contest is
ignore everything we've said about his painting quality for those who want to win.
My painting quality is not bad when I take my time.
The second contest is last year we did the haiku. This year we're doing a hate coup.
Yep.
And it can be about anything. It could be about 40K, GW, Space Marines, myself, Danny, Tom, John. X bonus points if it's about John.
Mm-hmm.
And reenactments.
And reenactments.
No, I don't recognize anything happening in this.
You don't have to recognize because you're not the only one voting on it.
I want to be like the English king that lost his head because he refused to recognize the court's authority, and they convicted him anyways and beheaded him. That was one of the Charleses, I think, right? Or the Jameses.
You mean one of the French kings or one of the English?
No, it was one of the English ones. It was right before the Lord Protector Cromwell took over.
Oh, I want to say Charles.
I think it was one of the Charleses.
Yeah.
I think it was Charles the Second was before Cromwell.
Yeah, I think he's the one that did that. I don't recognize this court's authority.
Chop.
Yeah. Cool story, bro.
Oh, that just reminds me of the what is it? One of the lines from in the Roman Senate during the Civil War when they're like, "You can't do this," and I forget the name of the dude, but he's like, "You would use a piece of paper against a man with a sword."
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good one. I like that one.
Might is right.
Access of entry, bunch of monarchists
We're talking about cutting people's heads off in the chat. One of my favorite things in history is Louis XVI's head getting chopped off by a guillotine.
Put that in the form of a haiku, Axis. Enter the contest.
When I went to France over the summer, I literally did the French Revolution tour. French Revolution walking tour of Paris.
So if you're going to have a haiku, send it to TFG Radio Podcast at gmail.com with the title Hate Coup or contest, and it'll get entered. And again, we'll choose the best one. Top 3 will get prizes, some type of prize. And I believe that's it. I don't think there's anything else.
Mm-hmm. Nope.
No.
I don't believe there's anything else.
Have
Tom?
a happy Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's a bit of programming note. Because our next show would be on Thanksgiving. We won't have a episode. We won't have our regular episode on Thanksgiving that week.
If you haven't figured out, we do this bi-weekly.
We'll have but listen to the other show, Focused Fire.
What?
The Eldar show.
What?
But we'll probably have an interview or two to put up.
I was supposed to complain about Eldar.
I kind of did
Somebody
for you.
on Facebook said is this the one where I complained about Eldar?
But that's every episode, so.
But I didn't know it's not because I clearly.
And that was also
I didn't do it.
That was also Snyder, and so that's probably why you didn't register it.
Oh.
I mean, to be completely fair.
It's possible. I still should have done it, though.
So just a reminder
from a matter of principle, yeah.
So we'll be back after Thanksgiving. We won't know what the programming will be after because we have to talk to the Focus Fire guys, see where they're going to do their next one after next week.
So they'll do a new one in 3 months?
Probably. In the meantime, in December, we'll only be doing 1 or 2 episodes. We'll take whatever episode we do right before Christmas will be the last one for the year, and then once the new year comes around, we'll have a new episode, which will announce the winners and the finalists for both the Tom's nickname for the Patreons and for the Hate Coup. So be sure to send those in. I'll have the information up tomorrow after work, and I believe that's it. The chat seems to be talking to themselves.
Yeah,
Good. Talk amongst yourselves.
We have.
As a parent, you learn quickly to let them entertain themselves. Don't interrupt.
We have a few things probably coming up next year that we'll have to announce, or we will announce, but that can wait. Other than that, Tom, you got anything?
Join your local convent today for more information.
Oh my God, that's just wrong on so many levels.
Why do we let him talk?
I let him on because his wedding was actually in Latin.
Fair enough. Okay.
And it answers a lot of questions about him, especially with his fascination with sisters.
Yes.
I don't know what you're talking about.
A lot of
Yeah, you better not
pain
try to defend yourself.
shame in those eyes.
These eyes.
Danny, anything before we sign off?
Let us all make whatever sacrifices necessary to the dark gods that the chaos stuff is better than it appears, and psychic awakening is with NIDS is apparently in December or so the birdies say, and sacrifice whatever you can to make that actually playable.
Yeah.
I just noted.
For our mentor, protect us.
I just noticed that John has 2 mics.
Yeah, I have 2
Wait,
computers.
what?
The one computer runs the stream, the other one runs games. In this case, the one runs the stream, and the other one has Facebook.
And that's why he has 10 monitors.
I have 4.
He wants to be like the architect in Matrix.
He needs a nice pen.
Oh, see, it's like this.
Not picture John's keyboard hanging
One
above
computer,
him.
And then I got,
Oh God.
this right here. See?
This is all serious business.
Yeah.
It's serious business right now.
John, any last thoughts or advice as we sign off?
No.
He's just currently flexing his get up right now.
I'm good.
All right. Well, we're gonna call it for tonight.
I'm
Again,
so
once
pissed I
again,
didn't brag on Eldar.
You want to go?
That's-
I can tell you. You want to go in a minute?
No,
he
I'm
too
good.
big. He used it too much on. He used his tirade on pro tabletop.
Supposedly banning supplements when they didn't.
Supposedly banning supplements, but we don't think they are. It's just the. I think it's just the salamanders and Imperial Fists.
Why did
I
they
mean,
ban
regardless
those?
of
That seems weird because
Well, I think the cutoff was
Yeah.
right in between the weeks or whatever.
But
that's a long
Why? That's a
cutoff.
long
They've been
cutoff.
out for a while.
The lists were due on November 1st.
they're not even sold out. Why are their lists even due?
Even if they're not sold out, the lists should be due.
A month plus, like, wait between submitting your list and playing in a tournament is
So my
probably
rant still
too
stands. I stand by it.
I mean, nowadays, in the olden days, it made sense because of the release date of GW. But I think nowadays, like 2 weeks is probably the
I
longest
mean-
I would.
Yep, my rant stands.
Okay.
One man's cutoff date is another man's ban.
Tom,
I mean,
Tom,
you
you
can
already
use the
got to talk.
terms. I'm trying to push a narrative here, man.
You can't
I'm trying to push a narrative.
You can't mute. You can't use John's time, even though he's not using it.
Sure. I did not yield my time to the gentleman from California.
Oh, Access to Entry says they're promising perfection with list legality. That's why they're doing it so far.
Has that been an issue the last 6 months?
It hasn't.
Wow.
So
Amazing.
Boom, boom, boom.
Bold.
Yeah.
Bold move, Cotton.
No, there was one tournament not that like last week where someone had 4 demon princes, not 3.
Oh
So,
no.
I mean, it does.
Some
it does
guy
come up,
who
but-
went 0-4.
No, he was at the top table.
he was at
the
top table.
of the GT.
All right, fine.
Stop ruining the narrative, Danny.
I'm here for the pursuit of truth.
Yeah, local tournament guy thrown up for bringing too much poop to the table. I mean,
All right, I think everyone's done making their points after using up John's time. Thank you, everyone, for listening and for being on the Twitch stream with us. Happy Thanksgiving for everyone. 'Cause we won't talk to anybody till after
Everyone
that.
who's American. God. Assume
Everybody
people's
who's-
nationalities, why don't you?
American.
Did you just
That's all
assume
that
our
matters.
audience's nationalities?
Yeah, because I
We
assume
have Jim
audience-
Vessel in our chat, and you're going to just throw Thanksgiving around? And
he wasn't even on Team Canada.
How,
True.
You're still being insensitive to poor Jim and the Canadians.
I'm just stating a fact. He was not on Team Canada.
All right, fair enough.
All right. Well, again, thanks again for everybody. Have a happy Thanksgiving.
Laters.
Or a happy Thursday,
bye-bye.
because John's easily offended.
Snowflake over here melting.
So good night, everybody. And have a pleasant
Melting in my
tomorrow.
red hat. Sorry, I interrupted you to do that again.
I already said my goodbye, John. You can start off.